A very warm welcome to all our viewers and our listeners to this, our wonderful program, My Sports Diary by Dr. Ronnie Masilela. Welcome to everybody. We are honored today, once again, to be in a very fortunate position and situation where we have one of our greatest footballers from yesteryear. We have a legend from Moroka Swallows. Firstly, it was Moroka Swallows Big 15. Later, it became Moroka Swallows Ltd. One of the best midfielders to come from South Africa. One of the best midfielders to come out of South Africa. One of the best number 8s who used to command the midfield with authority, with aplomb, with dignity, and with distinction. We have in our midst today as our visitor, none other than Mr. Finky Sekete, also known as Mathousand. Mr. Finky Sekete, we welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Masilela. Thank you, gents. Thank you, everybody. I just want to let you everybody know that, as the doctor has also already announced, said who I am. I want to thank him for inviting me to be part of the program.
Thank you, Finky. If you could just raise your voice. No, you're doing very well, Finky. We know you are not a speaker, you are not a radio presenter or something. You are you are a former footballer. But if you, because you see the listeners and viewers want to hear what you have to say, and some have never heard your voice, and this is a privilege and an honor for them, and as well as an opportunity for them to see the person who used to do things on the field now speaking to them. Tell us then, who is Mr. Finky Sekete?
Finky Sekete was born and brought up in Alexander Township. I was the second born in the family. I had an elder brother and 2 sisters. Yes, I started playing football in Alex as young as 8 years. And when we were 10 years old, we were so lucky because at Alex the structures were so well organized. We had a league that was running under the name of Moroka Division, which was for young boys from 10 to around 15 years to 16. And at one stage, that's where we were so fortunate, because that's where the present PSL chairman was the coordinator of the league. He was the one who was running that league. And it was well run because we played as a league and we had some knockout games, reached the finals. That's what encourages us, most of us, to be so interested in football. Because there was a lot of challenges there and competition was a lot. So everyone wanted to be part and parcel of playing in that league. It encourages everyone as youth, small boys. We grew up, all of us, playing. There are a lot of guys that we played with them. We used to play in that league as youngsters. People like Mofield said, Mr. Jones, Maurice Kosana, they're coming from that league. The Reis Kosana, Father Muposho, they played before us in that league, but the people that we played with them is people like against them. Phil Jones said they are the product of that league. The late Soli Mokhomotsi and others that came from that league. The late Voseslam, Isaac Chirwa, the goalkeeper, Chiefs goalkeeper, the former chief coach. Those are the guys who were playing in that league. They are from that league. And later, those who came after us, those who used to watch us, people like this Ships Kumani, they are from those leagues also. So we are so fortunate to come from Alex, where the league was so well run, which was under the chairmanship of Lepile Tanyana, Roger Sichi. Simon Slepe, Boten Leboa, they came from that league, hence from that association. Hence the league was so well run, and even the youngsters were taken care of.
You know, those are the giants. You have just mentioned a few giants, Mr. Liepile, Dr. Ivan Koza, you know, and all those people who, Roger Sishi, you know, they are all from Alex
Simon
and Simon Slepe. No wonder, you know, we have so many great people who came out of Alexander, and you are definitely one of them.
Yes.
Now, from Alexander to Moroka Swallows, what was your journey like, and how did you ultimately end up as a professional player, plying your trade for Moroka Swallows? By then, I think it was Moroka Swallows,
yeah.
Big 15.
Moroka Swallows, we were playing a lot of games against them, friendlies and knockout game, as Moroka Lions and Moroka Swallows. And Moroka Lions, people used to call it a feeder team for Swallows, because of even the late Father Mposho came from the same team, Moroka Lions. And they later come and fetch my two, because Father was a bit older to us, we never played in the same team with him. But they came and take Brian Clare, the late Brian Clare, and Congo Maleban from the team, which we were playing with them. They were my teammates, and we played against them in a knockout game. They beat us for 3 in extra time. It was a BP top 16 in 76. And later the following year, before the league starts, they come and fetched Congo and Brian Clare, Congo Malebane and Brian Clare. And the following year, they come and talk to me. Unfortunately, the very same year we got promoted. And after promotion, that's when the league were merging with the federations and the NFL 4 leagues, and it was Indian colors, whites, and us as NPSL.
That was in 1978.
Yes. So, when they came, they wanted me to come and play for Swallows in 78. Unfortunately, we got promoted. And when they demoted teams, they demoted team from position 14 or 15, but we were number 16. Mm-hmm. And we were also demoted because they wanted to trim the league to 18 teams, if you remember.
That's right, yeah.
To other teams that came from the second divisions. And that's how they came back. Swallows came back, and that's how I went to Swallows. Go and play for Swallows there.
Now, you are now a Swallows player. Who are the great players that you found at Swallows, and how were you accepted as a Swallows player during your first few weeks? And what position were you playing? Because I know for a fact that you were a midfield commander.
Yeah, no. I went there at Swallows, and I only trained on Thursday with Swallows. Friday they registered me, and then we played on Sunday, and I was in the team that played at Orlando against Hellenic, and we beat Hellenic 1-0. The people that I found there, it was Shakes Mashaba, the big names that were there, Father Mposho, James Mapena, Andres Masego, Ace Nini, Gold Power, actually KK Linswani, Brian Clare, Congo Malebane, because those they were my teammates. I was well accepted because those people knew me. We played a lot of games against each other before. So as people used to say, Swallows is a feeder team. Moroka Lion is a feeder team to Swallows, because Swallows always get players from Moroka Lions. And they had a lot of supporters there in Alex. So that's how I went to Swallows. Because not only Swallows, Pirates also came to, Pirates came in 1976. but they had a strong team, and they had acquired players from pubs. And when they come here, they couldn't find me. They didn't find me. They talked to their parents, to my parents, and I told them that they tell me that Pirates was here. Russia was here as a manager. He was Russia Jacobs, manager of Pirates by then. I said no. Pirates got good players. I can't go there because I don't want to be frustrated. There's a lot of good players there.
So you couldn't go to Pirates, and you refused to go to Pirates, because Pirates at the time had just acquired, despite the fact that they had very good players.
Yes.
But then they got the 6 or 7 or 8 players from Pimville United Brothers, in the form of Easter Mebra, Chili Boy, Nsosing, and George Best. And
George Best didn't go to Pirates. He went to, what's this team? Is it Kelly's or Bino United?
So now then, tell us about your toughest games. Now you are now with Pirates, and you are now you are now with Swallows, and the big names of the time. There was Pirates, there was Chiefs. Well, Paps was no longer part of the, and then there were the white teams: Hellenic, Durban City, Cape Town City, Highlands Park, Lusitano. And tell us about your toughest challenges during the early days, and how you dealt with the challenges.
You know, there were tough games that we played against white teams. Highlands Park, Wits. I remember we played Wits at Orlando Stadium. And that day something wrong happened before the game. We had a manager by the name of Abi Mokhumuthi. We were camping this side in Rodiport. Where's the place where people like to camp? I forgot the name. We'll camp, and around 12 we'll come here in Soweto to go and fetch the strip, and he'd come back. That day, when we were playing Vets, he came back, and you know, teams sometimes say, man, they can make you think otherwise. People is not there, the training session is not doing anything, it's not part of preparation of the team. The coach is there, but they'll give a coach a team to say, here's a team list for you.
Now who does that? The officials, the team managers?
Not manager. The manager came with
a team list.
Team list to the coach.
Yes.
And the coach, you know, I like the white coach. White. They don't take nonsense.
Yes.
Because I remember I was also a captain. He called me, he called Shakes, he called James Mapena, and he called Fader. Whilst we were there, he said, you know, there's something that I don't understand here. Mr. Mkhumuti came with this, he didn't show us this piece of paper. We laughed, and he said, I want to comment, guys. Somebody has made a team for me, and I'm the coach. It was George Santoro.
I remember George Santoro.
Yeah. He made a team for me, and he asked us, I want to comment, guys. We all commented, and I remember what I said to him. Was that person ever at a training session during the preparation, coach? And he said no. He was never there. You were there the whole week. You saw I was the only one who was preparing the team with you guys. So I'm surprised. You know what he did? He took the paper and he teared it in front of us. Yeah, said, this is nonsense. And he only realized one thing, because he never said anything. the person who was there, who never trained with the team, he was coming from overseas. He arrived on Friday or Thursday. Sunday he was there at the camping. We camped with him. But he knew that maybe he will be in the team.
Okay.
Which we were not aware of. So,
okay. So now somebody wanted to influence the lineup.
No, I think in that lineup he was selected to be in the first 11.
Okay, all right.
So the coach didn't go with it.
Yeah.
And that game, interval, we were training.
Vets were leading at 3-0.
Yeah, we were training.
Half time.
Half time, when we went into the dressing room, and the coach was so stressed.
Yeah.
You know, this white people doing this like this. Not talking.
Yeah. And now you as the coach was stressing, and what about the players?
No.
What was the what were you thinking? And you were the captain.
Yeah, no, the reaction. We spoke. We gave him a chance and said, "Coach, say something." He said, "Guys, we are trailing, and we therefore we knew now what is his stress."
Yeah.
Because he didn't do what he was told.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
Then, as you know, it was known that we always come back as Swallows.
Yep.
No matter how you lead us, but second half we'll come back.
Yeah.
And we came back. We played 3-3 with Vets.
Who was your top striker at the time?
Congo Maleba.
Shebeleza Congo.
Yeah. We played 3, and I think he scored 2 goals on that day. We played 3-3, and actually we beat Vets. Father scored the 4th goal from a square pass, but the referee disallowed that goal. We should have won 4-3.
But you are very modest, because I know you and Father were the midfield.
Yes.
You were the midfielders.
I was in the middle. Father was on the left as number 10, and Chris Mazubuko was on the right.
Yeah.
But when Andres came back from overseas, Andres took over as number 8.
Yeah.
And I think we were the best midfielders by then. That's why no team. We were a thorn in most of these big teams.
Yeah, because whilst we are there, Finky, you came back and you ultimately won that game.
What? 3-3.
You played it to it.
Yeah, and we should have won 4-3, but the referee disallowed.
Yes, it is allowed.
Yes.
And around about that time, I want to remind you of another game where you played Kaizer Chiefs, and it was the mainstay.
It was before that.
It was the mainstay cup semi-final.
Yes, because before that game, we played 2 games again.
You played 2 games.
Yeah,
before you went to Chiefs.
Yeah. And we played another game we won, and then we lost 2-1 to Highlands Park. And as if the management was waiting for that to fire the coach, because he didn't listen to them.
He didn't carry out the instructions.
Yes. Yeah. And then he was fired. And immediately after that game, Shakes took over as a player coach.
That's right.
And after 2 games, we went on to go and play Kaizer Chiefs in the mainstay. And I remember when the draw was made, our chairman, Braj Excello, said he wants Chiefs in the semi-final 2 weeks before they came.
Okay. So now you are playing Kaizer Chiefs, and it's a semi-final.
And when you went around town, wherever you meet supporters, they'll ask you, why did Brajek choose Chiefs? I said, no, it's a draw. Then they said, no, he wanted Chiefs. I said to them, yes, but ultimately, if we won the semi-final and it was not Chiefs, and Chiefs won, we will meet Chiefs still at the finals.
Okay.
So there's no way that we could avoid Chiefs alone, because we have 4 teams that remains. It was ourselves, Pirates, Chiefs, and Hellenic.
That's right.
And we went to that Wednesday, meet Chiefs, because along the way, I remember we beat Dynamos in semi-final. Pyramid Liu, they were playing for Dynamos by then. We beat Dynamos. We beat last 16. We beat Devon City at George Koch.
And quarter-final it was Dynamos.
Dynamos.
Now it's the semi-final, Swallows versus Chiefs.
Yes, and we beat them. Devon City, we beat them 7-4. They were leading 2-0 first half. The time Nomanello said he went from Zimbabwe to fetch Mutu, you remember? So we beat them 7, and we beat Dynamos 4-2. Then it was Chiefs. That time, on that game, things changed. We led 2-0 first half through Father's goals and Tonalo's goal.
Tonado Nsibande.
Yeah. Then, second half, hey, we had a tough time. Ace come on.
Patrick Ace Nsolengwe.
He turns things around.
Yebo.
He scored 3 goals. And he scored another goal.
3-3.
Score was 3-3. And Shakes changed things. He said, Finky, please go with Ace, because now Ace playing as number 10 and Rich playing as our number 8.
Andres 6 Mabone Maseko.
When we got positions, he moved the ball. Ace doesn't fall back. He just stand there. When we lose the ball, Ace is free. And he was one of the intelligent players we had in South Africa. He knows how to use the space. He was a clever player. We didn't want him to give him a space to think. You know, after 90 minutes, went to extra time. That's when Sheikh said to me, "Stay with Sheikh Ace."
So now your assignment now is to neutralize, monitor Ace.
Ace. When I was with him, he said, "You know, Finky, you know what? I didn't know. I forgot that we are defending this cup, you know."
Oh,
yeah.
He reminded you that they as Chiefs were defending the cup.
Yeah, we are defenders.
Yeah,
we are defending this cup, and you know, I forgot it.
Yeah.
They only told me at interval.
Okay.
I said, and now, so can't you see? That's why I chase us so, man. I'm so hot. That's why I'm like this.
Yeah.
Sharply 3 goals.
Yes.
I said to him, no. I never said over.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't happen again.
Oh, so now, okay. So you're having a very nice discussion.
Yeah, I know. We always discuss with him.
All right.
Whilst he was talking, we got a place kick there.
Yeah.
Andres was a good kicker.
Yes.
And it was out of 18. And he scored that ball.
4-3.
Yeah. He went to those people, the defenders, to fight them.
Who?
Ace.
Yeah.
They come back to start the game. When now I monitor him, I said, "Mun, you score those people, basco roll." You know what? Those nonsense. This is nonsense. What they are doing. I laugh. I laugh at him and said, "What's that?" I said, "Yeah, I was playing, no." By then, they've replaced somebody with Peter Mukote.
Okay, Peter Fudua Mukote,
yes.
The player from Witbank Black Aces.
He equalized.
Sure, 4-4.
4-4. We got a penalty. He scored it. Andres scored the goal.
Andres, yes.
5-4. Peter Mukote equalized again.
Sure.
5-5 for 120 minutes. Actually, the late, who's that guy? He was a journalist for Sunday Time. The guy from Natal, who passed on last year. We met at night. There was we had a draw for the tournament that always been held. 6 Morewas tournaments.
Okay.
So we were throwing, myself and Esther. We were doing the draw, and after that we spoke about those games, myself and Esther. And he said to me, Finky, you spoke about that game. I said yes. I said to him, you were still a youngster by then. He said to me, that game has been named the game of the century. That's 5-5. Because there's never a game like that in South Africa, whereby teams, we see teams this nowadays playing for 120 minutes, and from there they went to penalties. We have never seen a game for 120 minutes been scored 10 goals.
10 goals, yes.
Yeah, that's the only game in South Africa that has happened in South Africa. That's why it's been named a game of the century. Then we had the replay.
Then come the replay, yes.
The following week.
Okay.
Yeah, people thought it was going to be during the week, but because of the crowd that was there, and they were expecting that was on the game on the day, and the crowd, they were expecting the same crowd. It was on Sunday again.
The following Sunday.
Yeah. That's where we were camping at Holiday Inn. When we lived for the game to Orlando Stadium. Father said to me, Finky, accompany me, come in the car. He was driving a small car, Toyota, Datsun 260. I said to him, okay. But within a minute, I went out of the car and said, no, Vedi, I want to see myself in the past, because in the past we are singing. The mood is so good. It motivates you. He said, no, it's okay, go there. I went to sing all the way from town to here.
To Orlando.
Yeah. And by then it was during the state of emergency. I remember around FNP there. It was before FNP was built. There were police roadblocks.
Okay.
Yeah. And the police said, oh, we are a team. Pass, we are going to play. We went to Orlando. No, we went there, went to the field, we warm up, do some warm up. When the referee went in, Shakes was not in the team.
Okay.
He wanted to be focused. He didn't play on the game.
He was the player coach.
Yeah.
So
he didn't play. He didn't put himself in the game because the previous game, the person who was not playing was Trot. Okay. So he put Trot in to play with Ox Mahlam for an 5. And then he said to me, when the referee blew his whistle to call the captains, Shakes called me, because I had to go and fetch the team list. Yeah. And he says, we've got a problem. I asked, what problem? He said, Father is not around.
I don't see Father.
Father is not here. I said, yeah. Then he said, no, let's change here. We'll put Pet in, tell the referee, put Pet in, and Father went to the reserve. I said, no. Okay, we swapped the players. When I was the referee there, doing the tossing, I told the referee, no, we've got some...
There are some changes.
Yes.
Father is not in, so and so is in.
Number 10 is not here.
Yeah.
And then we put number, I think it was already number 6.
Okay.
He'll put number 6 into his place, and then he'll take his number 6 place.
And I'm Finky, I'm the captain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were tossing of yes.
Yeah.
He said, no, it's okay. No. I was with Ryder, the late.
Yeah.
Ryder went back and called Chiefs players.
Yeah.
And have a meeting. He told them about the our situation.
Yeah.
To say Father is not there, because I know they were fearing Father.
Okay.
Like hell.
Yeah.
Because that man, I would compare him with Ace in terms of brain.
Yes.
He was very brainy, Father. He knew football. And worst part, I knew him when I was so young, before he went professional. I used to tell guys here, before they know him, that there's a guy by the name of Father Mposho.
Father Mposho,
yeah,
yes.
You don't know him, but you will. Should you see him? That's why he was always in the national team's squad.
So Chiefs caucused and they celebrated the absence of Father Mposho.
They came and the game started, we play. They scored the first goal through the house Mposho. We went to interval trailing 1-0. And during the game, while the game was playing, we saw Father came in about 20 to 25 minutes later.
Walking in.
Started walking in the game.
And he was limping.
No, he was not limping.
Oh, okay.
He was just okay.
Yeah.
But holding his soccer boots.
Yeah.
Didn't put in shoes.
He was barefooted, but holding his soccer boots. Okay, only with his socks. Yeah, coming in. Yeah.
During interval, Pet Dibetla.
Yeah.
He asked to be substituted because Father is back.
Okay.
Yeah. And Father being Father. The game was barely 15 minutes. He equalized.
So he was ultimately included at halftime.
At halftime.
And
yes.
And then in second half, then he changed things around.
That guy, he used to make things so easy for us. And he was not a hard-working player. He couldn't come back, fall back. But when you get the ball, we gave it to him. Okay. He was doing what Ace was doing on the side.
Yeah.
Against Andres.
That's right.
He was not falling back, Ace. But when they get the ball, they gave it to Ace.
Okay.
And he did the good work out of that ball.
Okay.
Yeah. So Father was doing the very same thing. We didn't have a problem. I know when they were attacking on his side, I had to go and fold that side to cover him. Because I know when I got the ball, I had to give it to him and make use of that ball.
So it's second half now when Father is in.
Equalized. We played. When it was about 12 minutes to go. Because I remember at one stage, Chiefs were attacking us. And Ace, because I was monitoring him, he went across them. He said to them, don't pass me.
Don't give me the goal, please.
The ball, yes. Don't pass me. How?
Because I've got company here.
Yeah. He went to the 35 area. Yeah. So I turned to go and assist our guys.
At the back.
Yeah. Then he came back. He said to me, "You nonsense. I thought you'd follow me."
Okay. So he was trying to drag you out of position.
Exactly. I said, Ace.
And you didn't fall into that trap.
I said to him, I was playing the same position in my former team.
Okay.
You forgot that.
Yeah.
He laughed. Yeah. And when the game was about 12 minutes to go, he said to me, Finky, you know what? I said, I don't know anything, Ace. Because we were talking a lot.
Yeah.
He said to me, our supporters are expecting goal from me. I said, I know.
Yeah.
But you know what? You wasted a lot of goals last week.
Yeah.
Those goals, you scored a hat-trick, but it was in vain. Because we are still playing against us. He laughed.
Yeah.
I said, please, man.
Yeah. Just allow me one.
Just allow me one.
1 year or so. Yeah.
I said, Ace, I can't do that, You have long been playing finals.
Yeah.
We have been playing finals for some time. He laughed. And ultimately, we won. He couldn't score.
Now, this discussion, okay, now the final score in that game ended up 2-1.
2-1.
And you went to the final.
Tornado scored the second goal.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now I want just...
And after the game,
yes,
whilst we were celebrating in our dressing room,
yeah,
he came,
yeah,
with his socks,
yeah,
short,
yeah,
and the top. He said to me, "Hey, I didn't see him. He just made a big, hey, come on."
Yeah.
I had to take off all my strip and gave it to him. We swapped the jerseys. Because we were friends, we were not fighting.
Yes, I'm coming to that now. This kind of discussion that happened between you and Nzolengwe, does it always happen in, if you are given an assignment to look after a player, do you always have those kind of discussions?
It depends.
Oh, it depends
on a type of a player that he is.
Okay, it depends.
Because some of them are becoming emotional. All right. Because it doesn't take the thing that you don't give him a chance.
Okay, so they become angry and
end up kicking you or trying to break you because you don't give him a chance. All right, he knows that his supporters are expecting him to get them a goal.
No, it was a very interesting discussion, Finky. Yeah. But then I want us to get to now. Then came the final. Then you met Orlando Pirates in the final, and Jomo Sono had just come back from overseas.
Yeah. The very same year, we beat Chiefs. Yeah. In the league. We beat Chiefs 3-1. Yeah. And the following we beat Pirates 1-0. Yeah. And then the second round we played 2-2 with Chiefs. Yeah. That was first round. Pirates, they beat us 4-3. Yeah. I remember the late Toy Ramosa scored 2 goals.
Toyota Ramosa.
Yeah. Yeah. And then in the final, the game before the final, we were playing against Bloemfontein Celtics. In Bloemfontein. Mm-hmm. Then as a captain, the referee did a mistake and I confronted him and he gave me the red card. Because I think they kicked Music Man. And I said, oh, there's a foul there and you didn't penalize the guy. Mm-hmm. And he just gave me the card without a yellow card and everything. I said to him, I was asking you about the incident that happened.
Was before that red card, did you get other red cards before? No. That was your first red card?
First and the last.
The first and the last.
Yeah. Then, hence, in the final, I couldn't play.
Oh, okay. That is not the final between Swallows and the Mainstay Cup final, 1980. Yeah. I think it was run about, it was somewhere the December. 5th. It was the 5th, plus minus the 5th of December, 1980. 2nd or 5th. Yeah, December. It was the first Saturday of December, 1980.
Yes. So I couldn't play, and Shakes had to play in the final because he never played in the semi-final.
That's right,
I was not playing. Yeah. He had to play to my position. Yeah. Then, unfortunately, we lost. And my neighbor, a big boy, Kholwane, because the fact. Yeah. He scored the first goal.
Yeah. And Jomo Sono was sizzling on the day.
Yeah. Jomo scored 2 goals in it.
I think he scored 2.
Yeah, he scored 2 goals in the game. One is a penalty, which was caused by Phil Felder. But something happened because AC Milan dribbled some 3 to 4 guys and scored a goal, and it was disallowed. That goal, which was going to make the game to go into extra time.
Sure, Finky. Yes. Any more memorable games? Because I think that was one of the, the 5-5 against Kaizer Chiefs and the 3-2 against Orlando Pirates, which was now the final, where you lost to Orlando Pirates. Other memorable games, maybe that you want to talk about before we wrap up the show.
Other one was when we played Highlands Park and we played 1-1. At Balfour Park. We played against Highlands Park. And that's when Highlands Park used to beat all the teams, Mm-hmm. And the other one is when we beat them 4-0 at Josh Koch. And it was a shock for Highlands Park to be beaten. Actually, we were the first team to beat Highlands Park 4-0 because they were so good. And by then it was then still playing with Stuart Lilly, all the white team. Only Jerry Sekete was playing as a player of color. All the Highlands Park were whites and they were very good.
Yeah, well, they had Stuart Lilly, they had Mike Lampert, they had Des Bekos, and yeah, they had very good players.
Julie Kaplan.
Oh, Julie Kaplan,
yeah,
yes.
They had a lot of good players. Leslie Freitas went to Lusitano by then.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, they had good players. Highlands Park, Des Bekos.
That was a midfield general,
yeah,
par excellence.
Yeah, no. And this guy who's owning this, the company, the paint company.
Okay.
And I used to talk to him.
All right.
I forgot the name. Yes. So they had good players.
Highlands Park.
Yeah, because we used to Ito Highlands Park, and when we were in Alex, from Alex to Balfour Park, we can walk if you don't mind to take about 30 minutes walk.
Okay.
To the Balfour Park. We used to watch their games, mostly of their games at night.
Okay.
You would go and watch them during Freakelton term when he was their coach. So a lot of the players, we actually used to know most of their players than other teams like Durban City, because we used to watch them when they were playing Durban City, Durban United, Cape Town City, when they came decide to go and play in Balfour Park, and it was always Friday nights.
So they were quite good. So you beat a very good team for
Yeah, no. We beat a very good team. Yeah, they were a good team.
Some of your other teammates, Finky, as we are wrapping up, you have mentioned Highlands Park. I mean, you have mentioned Father, and now you have equated Father. You said he was almost at the same level with Ace Nzolengwe.
Yeah.
Now, other good teammates, the best Swallows players that you played with. During it, it was Father, it was Andres Maseko, and
Father, Andres Maseko, Ace Congo Maliban. He used to call himself Taglish, so we used to call him Taglish, Kenny Taglish, the way he was scoring goals. So he used to favor Liverpool, and his favorite player was Taglish.
Kenny Taglish.
Yeah, so we used to call him Taglish. And KK Linswan.
Nanana, take me home.
Yeah, those were players, and then come these youngsters like Fetsi Mulate, the great Makhopela.
Makhopela the Great.
Yeah, no, he was a brainy player. Very good.
Now, Finky, you played so well. You played quality football during your days. You had memorable games. You had, amongst the best players like Father Mposho. And unfortunately, there was no money for you, because during those days, you people had to have full-time jobs to look after your families. You would wake up in the morning, go to work. From work, you must go and train. After training, it's only then that you go. How difficult was that? And what was the highest amount of money in a form of a salary that you received?
The highest amount in a form of salary, it was when we played Kaizer Chiefs. During that final, I think each player, the money that we got, it was 1,000 rand.
That's the highest amount that you ever received?
Yes, because by then it was a lot of money.
What year was that? 1980.
Yeah.
1980, your highest salary was 1,000 rand.
1,000 rand.
A month.
Not a month, a game.
Per game.
We paid per game.
After every game, they would call you, guys, please come and take your money.
Sometimes you'll get it after 3 weeks.
After 3 weeks.
Yes. I remember one game we played with Durban City.
Yeah.
Durban City has just beaten Kaizer Chiefs here at Orlando.
Okay.
With a goal from the guy who was Mathousand.
Yeah. The throw ball specialist.
Yes. And then Rodney Charles just hit it.
Yeah.
5 minutes after the game started, and they could defend those guys.
Well, they had among the best defenders.
Yeah.
Yes.
The game ended with that goal. And then 3 or 4 weeks later, we played with the Cleveland's Stadium in Devon, next to that hostel.
Cleveland's hostel.
Yes, the hostel is just next to the stadium. And by then it was not rough. By then, when we played with them, the score was 3-1 interval. They were leading us, but we knew that we've got that reputation of coming back.
Yeah. Well.
And they said, you know what, we've got them. They're finished. We've got them, but Kevin Moody. Well, Dennis Weeks. Dennis Weeks said, guys, to them, this is not Kaizer Chiefs. This is not Pirates.
This is Swallows.
They are looking at those guys, but you know they've got a reputation of coming back. They said, no, they are finished. We've got them. We're going to score another 2 goals. They couldn't score 2 goals. We came back, and I remember Congo scored 2 goals in that game. The score was 3-3, and there were about 15 minutes to go. You know what they did? For the last 15 minutes, they all came back.
They packed the bus.
They packed the bus, and they kicked the ball outside.
Killing the game now.
Yeah, making it difficult for us to play and penetrate them. After the match, Dennis Weeks came to me and says, Finky, you know what? I told these guys. I said, what did you tell them, Dennis? He said, no. They said you are finished at interval. When we were there, they said, no, we've got them, they are finished. I told them
that it's not over.
This is Swallows. Because I don't know how many games. It was said before the game is finished, you must never set you beat Swallows.
Now, okay, whilst we are on that point, this is we're going towards the close now.
Yeah.
Whilst we are on that point, because there was no money to motivate you.
Yeah.
And the game was never over until it was over. What is it that motivated you? Was this a culture that you as players adopted? Was it something that the coach inculcated in you? What is it in you that made you never to give up because there was no money?
You know, Doctor, during that time, people who went to football, they went there with passion.
Okay.
The team could stay. That's why I said to you, at one stage we will stay. We were getting the money. We were paid every after game. But a month can pass without us getting any salary. But we keep on coming to the training and play.
The spirit.
There was never a strike to say we are not going to play. We didn't get our money because everybody was there playing with passion. So long as I play football, because we know everybody, every youngster by then, every street there were challenges. We challenged the guys from that street. You're playing, you form the team, you're playing. You just want to see yourself playing.
And you made people happy.
Exactly.
And you got a lot of respect from people.
Exactly.
Despite the fact that there was no money, people came to you, they showed their appreciation.
So, and you'll never complain to say, you know, the team has never paid us.
Okay.
And the money, when it comes, it will come. We know that it will come.
Now, in conclusion, Finky, what would you like to say to the current crop of players? Given that now, you know, the things have changed now, there's a lot of money in football, but unfortunately, the quality is no longer what it used to be during your time. Something has gone wrong.
You know what? Doctor, what you just said now, it's hurting. Because a lot of good players, good boys, they don't get opportunities from other teams. And that It's not like before, whereby a good player will be seen playing at school and be recruited, taken to the team, training, and later you'll see him playing. It's not like that anymore. You've got to have connections, no matter how good you are. There's one thing that has killed football now, the agents. They are helping players, but I can tell you, this thing of team managers and agents, it has killed football. When a good player comes, you know, you were brought to a team by an uncle or a big brother or a father or supporter of the team or a neighbor to say, I've got a good a boy who's very good, a good neighbor. I want to bring him to you. And he'll bring you to the training session. And the coach will look at you and say, no, you can play. Today the coach has been giving a player. Here's the players. I've seen something on the social media about Zimbabwe. He said he resigned before he played the game of solos, when he resigned officially on Monday, because they made a team for him. He fielded a boy from in the team. Which team? Moroka. This young player that has been signed by the Pirates. And the one who scored the second goal, who's wearing number 2, number 20. He fielded him. And they said, no, him and another boy, there's 2 youngsters. No, this boy, they are too young. They can't play. They cannot play in that game of Swallows. And while Swallows is playing with younger players, and they lost the game 2-1, the BP. That's why he resigned after the game. Because he resigned before the game when he was given the team.
All right.
So, hence I'm saying it's not like before. Although this thing happened, but the coaches couldn't allow them. As I told you before that, our manager came with the team, and what I saw, Andres was included in the team, but he never trained with the team. Hence the coach teared that piece of paper, and hence he was fired after he lost the game. I mean, three games after the 4th game, when he lost the 4th game, he was fired because the person didn't like what the coach did. He didn't take instruction. So many supporters don't understand what's happening in the teams.
Yeah. In conclusion, Finky, what would you like? What word of encouragement? Because here we are looking at lessons from yesterday to improve today for a better tomorrow. Exactly. Now, what lessons maybe can you give to the current crop of players? You know, at least some of us who saw you guys, we aspire to have people who are just half as good as you were.
You know, Doctor, this nowadays, our players, I don't know how many of them are that can take advice from anybody. Because, you know, when a person gets a lot of money or having a lot of money, there's nothing that you can tell him.
Okay.
You can try to advise him. He'll listen to you, but you won't take what you're telling. Who are you to come and tell him, because he's got more money than you? So they don't want to listen. They only came to you when things are bad. Then he came looking for an advice. You can try to tell them. I don't say all of them are like that, but most of them. I remember they once asked one person to say he was wearing number 11 at Kaizer Chiefs. You know who was wearing the Chiefs? He said, I don't want to know.
Oh, okay. He doesn't want to know.
Yeah, arrogance. Because they want to encourage him about the former player who was wearing
the one who was wearing number 11 before him. Teenage lad.
Yes.
Yeah.
He said, no, I don't want to know.
Okay.
Why? Because the money that is earning.
All right. Yeah, no, Finky, thank you so much, man. Thank you for your time.
No.
Thank you for your story. It's a very interesting story. You know, you have represented many of your other colleagues also, and we have had, you know, very wonderful stories from you today. In conclusion, what would you like to say to our viewers, you know, as we are now wrapping up the show?
No, I'd like to thank you, Doc, and the crew here for giving me the opportunity to say whatever I said here. And then I'd like to the followers, people who are watching this, to tell others about the program and follow it all the time, because now it's not ending. You're gonna see most of the the legends. A lot of them are coming. Just watch every week. You'll see a lot of them.
Wonderful, Bra Finky. Thank you so much for encouraging people, because the purpose of this is to give people like yourself an opportunity so that we can hear these wonderful stories that you have just told us about, you know, your engagement with Patrick Ace Ntswelengwe, you know, and we really appreciate. I know that you are not feeling well, but you really sacrificed to be on the show, and we really wish you well, Bra Finky. May the good Lord bless you, keep you and protect you and your family, and thank you for availing yourself, and thank you for your wonderful story. And on behalf of the South Africans that you entertained with your wonderful skill, you know, whilst in, you know, playing and talking to Ace Ntswelengwe, you know, and the others, you know, all that entertainment that you provided, on behalf of all those South Africans, you know, who would pack Orlando Stadium, who would pack George Gore Stadium, would pack, you know, Mlazi Stadium, all the stadia where you used to play, to come and watch you, Finky, Sekete, Mathousand, you know, and on behalf of all of them, we say thank you for entertaining people during a very difficult time, and may the good Lord bless you. And that then brings us to the end of our program for today, and this is my sports diary with Dr. Ronnie Masilela. And in conclusion, we are saying like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, and we thank you all until the next time. May God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, gents. Thank you.